Hi guys, this is a video to talk to you about before surgery preparation 2 to 3 months out. So if you are fortunate enough to be able to plan your surgery a little ahead of time, sometimes you may not be able to because you may be having so much pain you may need to do it, right away, or whenever they can schedule you. But if you can do it a few months out, that I found was a good thing because it gives you time to really prepare. And in my case, I really needed to lose some weight. I have been having knee problems in both knees, actually alternating. Sometimes it was left, sometimes it was right. It has been years, maybe 5 years, maybe even more, that I'd had knee problems, meniscus tears, and just pain. And I'd had physical therapy on both knees at different times. But it finally got to the point where I was bone on bone, time for surgery. And so by that point I was definitely overweight. And I had been trying to I'd lost weight a couple of times. I love to eat, okay? But I had lost weight a couple of times over the years, one time 40 pounds, one time 30 pounds, but I always gained it back because I like to eat. So I have a diet that I use that I really like. It's just that I can't always stay, I tend to fall off the wagon. So I wanted to share with you briefly. I mean, there are a million different ways to lose weight. This one has worked for me. Long time ago I got this book, The 17-Day Diet, and it's really a healthy eating program. It's called 17 Days because it's in cycles. The first 17 days is pretty strict. Really no carbs to speak of in terms of sugar, flour, sweets, all that stuff. It's pretty low-calorie vegetables and low-calorie lean meats and yogurt and so on. And really never hungry on it. There's plenty of food, but it can get boring those first 17 days. But those first 17 days are really to get you off the junk. And then you also walk for 17 minutes a day. And so the idea is you can do anything for 17 days. So if you have to get rid of junk food, you can do it. And then the next cycle, you can add some things back, and it's not quite so stark. So I know that works for me, and there are lots of different things. And talk to your doctor and nutritionist about how to lose weight. It's just about getting the motivation. And I found that surgery is a great motivator. When I found out I was going to have surgery, I really wanted to be in the best condition I could be in. And so I knew I had to lose weight, and that motivated me. My surgery was scheduled for April 10th, and right after Christmas I started trying to lose weight. And by the time I had a goal of trying to get to 30 pounds. It was more like 28 by surgery day, which I was happy with. But what was funny is I did that, and I did exercise. I was able to exercise because as I lost weight, my knees started feeling better. I wasn't, it's an amazing amount of pressure that extra weight's putting on your knee. So I hadn't been walking or doing exercise, but as I lost weight, I was able to exercise more. I was able to walk almost free of pain, going upstairs, everything. Losing the weight was a big help. I almost thought, well, maybe I don't need surgery, but I know the x-rays showed I needed it. So surgery was on, and dieting was on, and I was able to lose the weight. The other thing I did was what they call prehab. So I talked to my doctor, and he gave me exercises, and I set about doing those, starting out slowly, doing more and more. I mean, I was doing walking not every day, maybe 4 days a week, but I also added the exercise program. And so the way I did that to keep track, because I was also going to physical therapy for my neck and my back. I had several things going on. So I had a lot of exercises to keep track of. So I made this little book, and I printed out all the exercises and how many reps and all that stuff, and that helped me. And I had my husband make me a little spreadsheet with all my exercises, leg, back and neck, and put the dates down the side, and then I would just check off every day and then the exercises across the top, so I could check off when I did them. As I added weight, I made notes and so on. So that helped me keep track, because it got to be a lot. If you're just doing the leg exercises, though, it's not so bad. And then I have my little basket that I kept by the TV downstairs, and it had my goodies in it. So I had ankle weights that all this stuff I already had, because I've had physical therapy so much for my leg. But this has 5 pounds in it, 5 different little weight things that go in the pockets, these little things. And I took it out to put just 2 in here, 2 pounds, and later made it 3 pounds. So when I had to do those exercises that needed weights, I had that. I'm not going to show you the exercises. You need to do what your doctor says to do. But pretty much you're building up your quads, your glutes, and your hamstrings. That's what I found was most common. And your calf stretches and stuff. Then I had this thing this is something that I have for PT, and it has these handles in it, and you can wrap it around your leg, lie down, pull your leg up and stretch your hamstrings. I have that. I have this elastic band. They tie. I still do this at physical therapy. They tie it around your knees, and you walk as you stretch the band. Just that. I have a ball. At physical therapy, they sometimes put that between your knees and have you do things. And I have a timer, because sometimes you have to do things, calf stretches for 30 seconds. So I had that, or you can use your phone. And I had this thing I made for physical therapy a long time ago. People called it my rosary beads. It's a pipe cleaner with just craft beads on it. I put 10 on there, because it's hard to keep track if you're doing repetitions and holding each repetition for 5 seconds or more. You tend to lose count. So every time I do a repetition, I just flip a bead, and that was 10, and flipped it over and could do 20, or however many you needed to do. So I kept all that stuff in a basket by the TV, and I did my exercises, and I did them for about 2 months, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And I think that the reason I recovered quickly was because of losing the weight and doing the exercises. It is so good to have especially I feel like it's your quads that really need it the most, because after surgery you're going to have to build that back up again. It takes a little while to engage that muscle again. And if you've been doing it ahead of time and strengthening that, then you're just ahead of the game. And I think that really helped me. So if you have the time to do it, I'd recommend it. If you need to lose weight, do your best to lose, even if it's 5 pounds. I could tell a difference after, 5 pounds, but by the time I got to 28 pounds, I was really feeling good. So, work with your doctor, see what he recommends, or she, and do what you can ahead of time, and you will be glad you did later. All right, see you later. Bye.